103 Jabberjawns will exist after tonight's show. That's something to call and tell your grandkids about. Like many searchers, I'm sure you've all occasionally eaten from the plate of indecision, doubts, worries, second guesses. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. To add to or to help clarify these thoughts, our highly decorated Steve, no PH, Moore would like for you to join us tonight as he is offering to share some of his insight into love and God. Two mighty powerful subjects of inquiry and experience. We have waxed poetic on love briefly in earlier shows, but tonight might be our first venture into the realms of God and all that involves. I tell you from past experience that if Mr. Steve Moore has something on his mind and is willing to share it with you, then you are in for a treat. Many times, after a half hour on the porch listening to him weave a tale to and fro, I have sat motionless as he walks back to his house with my mind full of a universe of possibilities and adventures. It's like a magic show, but there's no trick. It's just knowledge, smarts, not always facts, but you can take it to the bank and they'll accept it as facts. Please join us tonight as we offer you our thoughts and our best wishes. We consider you all family, even possibly friends. Pets are welcome, and there will be covered dishes and ice cold tea if you'd like to sit around the table and share with us. We welcome silly smiles and loud guffaws. Tonight on Jabberjawn, there's a Jawn on the lawn.
H with me, you can keep the D. Little frog sitting on the lawn. One of them fell in. One frog said to the other frog, better go get him. Two little frogs sitting on the lawn.
Our show is live all over the world right now.
Last
Elliot,
little
you're
frog,
on
he sat and thought.
Worldwide.
Anything they can swim.
You have a friend
Jabberjaw.
that can see us. Tell them
Jabberjaw.
tune in. We're live.
Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw. Three little frogs sitting on the log. One burst into a grin. One frog said to the other frog, wonder what's got into him. Two little frogs sitting on the log. One laughed until he was red. Last little frog, he sat and thought, must have been something I said. Jabberjaw.
That's in the South, you turn.
Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw.
Especially if you say it with any enthusiasm.
Well, you do. You look like an old. You look like an old guy that came up to me the other day and asked me for $1. I said, "Don't ask for."
He was wearing a cool hat.
He was an
Wanted
old
$1.
guy. Yeah, he wanted. Well, it wasn't a cool hat.
It wasn't a cool
It was
hat.
looked like that.
All right, we got Saul down in Bogota. I told you we were international.
All right,
Hey,
Bogota.
welcome everybody. Welcome to Jabberjawn. I'm Nathan Moore.
I'm an old man who needs $1.
I'm Stephen Moore.
Give this old man $1.
I'm live and in living color tonight.
And we have Elliot in the house.
Oh, yeah,
Welcome to
hell
Jabberjawn.
yeah.
We do have a studio audience. This is a new little feature here. We got a party upstairs. We got a studio audience. We have a drummer. Go ahead and play that thing for us, Elliot. Yeah.
All right.
We should hook up these other cameras. I should have gotten those going for you. You got that one up above you. Oh,
Yeah,
sounding
now
good.
we're going.
So whenever we say something funny, you go ba-dum bum, psh, and then the audience laughs. Yep, that's it.
That's it.
I usually start with an arriving song and end with a leaving song. He is ready. Wish y'all could see the look on in his eyes.
Oh, Lordy.
He's excited. Want to take my red hat off, but I can't find it. I know it's on me up there somewhere. I'd push it off if I could get behind it. I swear, oh no, I see the sky changing. Oh, so burning. I want to take my red hat off, but I can't do it. Not while it's calling for rain. The whispers in the wind, they say I blew it again. Oh no, I see the sky changing. Oh, so burning. You ready? I want to take my red hat off so I could see it just for once with my own eyes. Stick on some wings, perhaps free it. Flies. Oh no, I see the sky changing. Oh, so burning.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yes,
Nice kazoo in
sir.
there, buddy.
Good job.
Good drumming over there,
That
Elliot.
was good
Elliot
drumming.
did a good
Wow.
job.
Feel like the Tonight Show. We got a whole
Perfect
band
level.
off camera
Come on,
and
Doc.
everything.
Well, something else happened that I thought was worthy of note.
Oh, what was that?
Well, this guy can play the kazoo.
God,
It was
heck
like a
out of that
gift
thing.
from God. I saw it happen.
It's the hat.
He has
Playing
it.
it behind his head and everything.
I don't
like
know
Jimi
what he
Hendrix.
was. It was a
some
beautiful.
moves.
I don't know if Elliot might have had something to do with
I
it.
know the drum.
But
beat
Elliot,
is
he
kicking.
has never played the kazoo that well.
Hey, Elliot, why don't you come over here and say hey to the studio audience or the people out there watching? You want to do one of our songs?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you poked your eye with it?
Oh,
Oh, that's scary.
that's why I didn't become a drummer.
You know the drummers don't like
Yeah.
to step up.
Those are
front.
wire brushes too. It's just a
Uh-oh.
bunch of little wires.
I don't want you to poke your eye again.
Oh, you don't want to poke your eye.
Elliot, come over here and talk to us.
Nope, 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 nope. Sorry, man.
You want to do a multiplication song, Elliot?
Here, look, there's lots of other ones.
Oh, we don't need more drums. We don't need more drums.
But
We're
he
doing a
wants
show.
to. He wants to come over, but he wants to stick.
He needs a couple of sticks to come hang
Yeah,
out with us.
well, I think
don't know what that says about us.
He wants to be armed.
Everybody needs a prop. Lex, can you zoom in on these, or how does this work?
Oh, look at
I
that.
got some more Johns.
Wow.
What do we got?
I picked these up in Harrisonburg at a cool record skate
Here, I
shop.
can move that closer. Look at that. Skate
Skate
John.
John.
This is, oh, goodness. I
From
dropped my
Philly.
phone. Oh, I see.
I asked the guy if they were from Philly. I asked him if they were from Philly, and he said yes.
What is it?
It's like a skateboard magazine, but it's called
It's blurry.
Skate John.
It's that manual focus. It's so funny because my mom just got to Virginia Beach, and she sent me a picture that there was a half pipe built right across from their hotel. So there's a big skateboarding
Oh, wow.
tournament or competition about to happen
There you go.
right across from where they're staying in Virginia Beach, and then you bring that. It's
Man,
like skateboarding
that's
themed
right.
day.
That's right.
Skate John. How about that?
I thought that was very cool when I saw it.
That's like originally Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Is that a Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Man,
Oh, you don't want to? Why are you so scared?
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt that much.
You want to try a multiplication song? All right, you have to come over here though.
Here, you can't play the drums while you do it.
Well, yeah,
You want to sit over here? I'll get up.
Come sit right up here. There you go.
You can tap on the door on that.
Come sit on this magic chest. Oh, he's nervous. Why are you so? You're not usually nervous. That's all right. You don't have to do it. No big deal.
You can't play the drum, buddy.
Yeah, no. We don't need drums.
To play the drum.
All right, we should have done that before the show.
Elliot, you can use this chair as a drum. You could use that.
See, next time, no storybots will be drumming the whole time. Well, I'll try it with Dad. All right, don't say anything over there, okay? 13 times 1 is...
13.
That's good. 13 times 2 is...
26.
All right. 13 times 3 is...
39.
All right. 13 times 4 is going to get tricky.
42.
Ooh. 13.
Wait.
No.
Oh, I said what did I say 13 times 9?
4.
Oh, goodness. We need...
13 times 4 is not 42.
No.
Whoa.
Oh, what is it?
What is it?
Oh, okay.
Got it.
13 times 5 is...
Well, I made a mistake.
65.
I guess I made a
13
mistake.
times 6 is... 78.
78.
13 times 7 is... What is it? 91. Here, play drums on this. And you ready? 13 times 10 is... Did we skip one? What did we skip?
8 and 9.
Oh, 8 and 9. 13 times 8 is...
104.
Whoa, 104. Let me see your mic. Here, let me clip this on your shirt. Come here.
Oh,
I'm just going to clip right there. You go. That you just learned about that on Storybots. That has a microphone in it. Ready? 13 times 9 is...
117.
Whoa, 13 times 10 is...
130.
13 times 11 is...
130. 143.
143.
whoa.
13 times 12 is...
156.
Is it really? 156? 13 times 13 is...
169.
169.
Good
13 times 14 is...
182.
13 times 15 is...
195.
Watch my eye. 13 times 17 is...
Hey, skipped 16.
Oh, I did. 13 times 16 is...
208.
208? 13 times
Good
17 is...
221.
Wow. 13 times 18 is...
234.
Someone check the math.
Right.
We got producers back here behind the scenes confirming. 13 times 19 is...
You skipped 18.
Oh my goodness. 13 times 18 is...
Actually 19.
Wait, what is it?
You did skip 18.
Okay, 13 times 18 is...
You did 13 times 18 again.
Oh, what is it?
234.
Okay, so 13 times 19 is...
247.
247? All right, last one. And 13 times 20 is...
260.
Wow.
That's very good.
Good job, Elliot.
Wow. Yay.
ABC. Say hi to Mommy and Phoebe.
Oh, yeah, wave to the camera and say hi to your mom and Phoebe.
Right here.
Perfect.
Say hi, Mommy and Phoebe.
Hi, Mommy Phoebe.
Oh,
Thank you, Elliot. That was awesome.
That was
Good
very
job,
good.
Elliot. I'm so proud of you.
You've proven once again who the smartest people in the room are.
Here, I'll take your microphone back. Put it back on Kyle.
Well, they didn't hear all my funny stuff I was saying. Get on back out of there. They got to hear my funny stuff.
I can still feel it.
Oh, a little phantom
I know,
microphone.
boy. Once you get that,
That was awesome, Elliot.
once you get that taste of fame, it's hard to shake. And for that, you deserve a tip of the hat. Thank you.
He watches this show called Storybots on Netflix. It's pretty good. Each episode teaches you something else. And, you know, for someone who likes to say, explain it to me like I'm 5 years old, this is the show for me. We just watched one on cell phones. How they still mystified.
Do you?
Each of these, they're explaining it to me like I'm 5 years old.
Yeah,
And I
now
learned some
that's-
insights, but I'm still,
Now, are you watching this? When you say we were watching it,
Elliot and I,
Elliot
over
and-
dinner.
Okay.
It's his show. He was turning me on to it. But the first one was on DNA. And the
Wow.
second one was on how cell phones work.
Wow.
And
a
I learned
hard-
little things, but just ultimately as mystified coming out as I was going
Those
in,
are
if
two-
not more so.
Those are two difficult topics to
It
talk
was,
to
I
anybody
mean,
about.
how a cell phone works, I really appreciated them breaking it down for me like that. But I'm still like,
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
I got a little
check
insight
that
in
out.
how like a microphone and speaker work. Very similar, like they're both a microphone and a speaker are like a little magnet with a wire around it. And the vibration of the thing, like the microphone, when you talk into it, it vibrates the thing, and that vibrates the magnet, and the wires around the magnet pick up that vibration and send it to the speaker, which is also a little magnet with the wires around it that vibrate the speaker on the other end. Mind-blowing stuff. Still
Yeah.
don't understand it, but boy,
I hear you.
it's fun trying to understand that stuff.
Yeah.
If you get some sewer gas caught in between there, your phone will start stinking while you're using it.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I had a text already that says they enjoyed the children on the show.
Oh, it's a nice touch.
Yeah,
Might have to make him a regular
That's right.
regular guest.
we'll do another number 14 next.
Next week, 14.
14s.
Today's episode brought to you by the number.
Oh, the number 14.
Our new sponsor, the number 14.
Well, it sounds like you had something on your mind to
Yeah,
get us
he was-
kick-started here
he was
to start
burning
off the
Well,
episode.
He ran down to my house. You should have seen
Oh,
him.
really?
He was so excited.
Don't start lying.
You're like, who's that running at me full speed? Well, oh my goodness, that's Steve.
You'll never see that happen. No, sir. That's not going to happen in this life again. I don't.
We're
believe-
running full speed.
Yeah.
You still play the occasional racquetball game, right?
Well, it involves walking on the court and swinging the racket and walking off the court.
Right.
Running full speed
No running.
never enters into the
But I bet there's little competitive moments where you surprise yourself.
one step. I'm good for one step, and I don't try to overdo it. Mm-hmm. You got to learn what your limitations are in life.
Are you
So-
sure?
Yeah, you used to throw yourself around that racquetball court with complete abandon without any concern for your own well-being or what. All that mattered was hitting that ball. And
This is true. Mm-hmm. I was an idiot.
diving on hard wood for stuff is not
just bumping your head
advised.
into walls and
Yeah.
not even noticing. Just keep playing.
That's fun.
But I don't do that anymore. But if I show up, that's the win, is to be able to get. Right now, it's getting from the car to the court is the challenge right now, because Paul and I can stand on the court together for an hour, or a half an hour. But that walking and changing clothes and stuff like that is
It's a lot.
a lot of work. Yeah, it exhausts me.
And then getting back, like having
Yeah.
going back the other way.
Yeah, getting home is It's going and coming.
Because at a certain point, you hit the wall or the ceiling or whatever you call it or whatever, and you have to time all that to be able to get home.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They still have a steam room and everything there?
Excuse me?
They still have a steam room and stuff there?
Yes, and unfortunately, I used to love the steam room, and I'm almost too tired to even do that anymore.
Right.
But that's just part of the game. Yeah.
You need a steam room at your house.
Yeah.
What's that?
You need a steam room at your house.
Yeah, that would be nice. We
My
were
friend
talking.
Willie T. Taylor is making saunas, but I guess those are more probably wood fire burnt fueled or something.
Yeah, it's not that dry heat's not what I need. I don't need to be dried out anymore.
I went out to Ix Art Park recently.
Ix Art Park.
Yeah, IX Art Park in Charlottesville.
I've never heard.
That's where that crazy place was that I was sending you pictures from, with that venue that just looked otherworldly. Well, outside they have a thing that you could pay for, and it's a sauna room, but it's outside. But you go inside this sauna room,
Oh wow!
and
Like fully clothed, just
well, no,
Spon-
you change or do what you need to do and go in there however you want.
so people don't spontaneously
Most
do
people,
this. They
no,
come.
I think you got to pay somehow.
You come
Maybe it's
prepared
a
to do it.
code. I didn't look into it that much, but it's called Fire and Ice. So there's a sauna and then there's ice baths
Oh
outside.
man,
So
those are the two things my friend Willie swears by. Just like,
What's it called?
it's called Fire and Ice, and
No,
it's
what's
just
the place called?
Ix Art Park.
and you just sort of go back and forth
I can't
between.
believe you don't hang out there.
I never heard of it.
Oh yeah, you really?
No.
Oh man, yeah, you got to check it out.
And you can go
IX
back and forth,
Art
or you
Park.
don't know.
I think you can. We saw people come out of the sauna and go into the ice,
Good to see you.
beluga style.
Yeah,
Thank
that's,
you for
that's
coming
the old
by.
move. It's good to see you, Elliot. So
Bye,
much
Elliot.
fun, always.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah,
Joe. Good to see
Thank
you,
you.
son.
See you again.
Ladies and
Bye.
gentlemen, Elliot Moore.
Have a good night. Joe and Elliot, I love you.
Elliot.
That wasn't
Doesn't get any
sweet.
better than that.
Nah, that was pure. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Fire and Ice right there.
Yeah.
Well, I was, yeah, you set me up on that introduction. It was just a thought, you know, I was thinking about the God as a concept and love as a concept.
Two of my favorite concepts.
And I was thing that I would have an observation to make, you know, and it's real simple observation is what I saw that they both had, and this is it. So it's, if we go further, it's because y'all want to go somewhere else with it. But it's just a real simple idea, but I don't think a lot of people, I think I'll start it with saying that when I was in over there at that church that I used to go to, First Baptist, I would go there every Sunday morning and I would sit in that pew and there'd be people all around us and everybody, and they'd have that long prayer right before they took up the offering. And, you know, so a lot of people fell over asleep and things like that. And a lot of people went into trances and did all kinds of things. But I'm sitting there trying to figure out God in my mind and what God is. And I'm trying to figure it out in accordance with this idea, is that everybody else in there had a concept of God that I didn't have or that I was trying to get, but everybody else knew God.
Or so you thought.
So I thought, that's the whole observation. And then I started thinking about love too, and how we get confused about love in a somewhat different way than God. But I thought that the thing that they both have in common that you have to realize in your life that makes a difference is that when I'm talking about God, my God is going to be different from your God. Not only that, my God is different from your God, and your God, which what all I'm to say it in general is that everybody's mind is making up their own concept of God. And on another note, a prettier note, hopefully, everybody's concept of love is based on your idea of love. So that gets, you can talk about them separately, because there's a little bit difference there. But the thing that I saw that they both had is that we live our lives thinking everybody else has this idea that we may or may not grasp, when the truth is that every human brain is so complex, and putting in data and coming up with new ideas and predicting based on their last experiences and what they've read and where they've been and what language they speak and who they have hung out with in their life and what mountain they've climbed or not climbed. And it's all based, and so their concept of love is different based on that experience, and their concept of God is based on that experience. And when you start arguing about people and God and all that, which we do a lot of doing out there right now, it bothers me that I see people calling themselves Christians that don't understand the New Testament, that actually don't understand that Christians should be bringing a new way of looking at religion. They should be the rebels, and they should be representing all the good that can come out of all that free thinking, and to put it into
love to a certain extent.
And in the whole concept of love is a whole different topic, but very similar. For some people's concept of love is very possessive, and some is very different. But when I say I love you, and I have a whole lot of people I say I love you to, but I'm not saying the same thing to every one of them. I don't love them all the same way. I had a lovely wife that I loved, and when I told her I loved her in those days of passion, that was a different statement than to say I love you for being my friend or whatever. So I mean,
Or
we all
Jesus
know that.
saying, "Love your enemy."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a totally different kind of love, and one that's not mentioned very much in the Old Testament, by the way.
Right.
So if you decide to live on the Old Testament, but you have decided that your God is that Old Testament God, whereas I have decided that that New Testament philosophy is a much better way of saving the world, of one of real based on love. So there you go.
Yeah, when you'd sent that original text message, because there's a whole school of thought that God is love, that those have been connected a lot, probably because of the New Testament a lot. But then when you started talking, I was like, oh, he's not necessarily talking about the old idea of God as love, but a slightly different take. But in terms of what inspired you, what was the connection? Why those two things?
That's a funny thing, but when you say that, one of my wonderful friends out there that I gained through Hippie Fiasco is Missy. And Missy put a thing up. And Missy, where is it? Is she in Seattle or Portland?
Portland. Yeah.
She's in Portland. I love you, Missy. And she watches sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if she watches this, but she watches your show. But she got to be a Facebook friend, and she's followed me. And so I like her work. She's just a beautiful human being. And I love her. And the thing she put up the other day, she was a song she wrote for a student of hers years ago, and it was just a little blip. I don't know if you saw it, but the title of it was "Love Is God." And maybe I didn't think about it at the time. I was just thinking in general, but maybe that was a little new take on it for me, because I've always heard God is love, but love is God is a different take on it. But that's not the observation I was making tonight, because I can go into, we could have an interesting discussion if I said, what is your concept of God? You know, and that gets kind of personal, and I don't know if we're going to do it there or however you want to do it. But what the only observation, I'm not making an observation about what you ought to believe, just the observation that we all are going to end up believing something a little bit different, no matter what.
Such a refreshing idea.
And when you start talking about love, I think what we need to do more of is discussing what do you mean by that? Let's define terms here, because the love is so nebulous and means so many different variations on that theme. You know, when I just say, a friend, I love you, I just love that you're in my life. I love that part of you that makes me a better person, you know, and that's enough to love someone. But is that what you're saying when you say, I love you? Or however you want to say,
It's weird when people say that they love you and they don't mean it as a verb. I like my favorite.
What do you mean?
My favorite version of love is as a verb.
And
If I say I should be able to say I love you with the way that I treat you, or the things that I do for you, or the way we interact, as opposed to trying to convince you that I love you in a way that you've never felt. Like, love should be an action, a thing that you do to or for somebody, as opposed to just something you claim to hold that they might not be affected by at all. And maybe if at all, it's in a weird way, because, oh, well, you love me like in a way that you feel like you possess me or want to control me, or any of these things, stuff that inspires jealousy. There's so many people that their love for you is a scary thing. It's because their love is not an action. They aren't loving you. They just love you.
I got it. I know. That makes sense to you?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that possessive thing is where it gets into trouble. Part of this goes back to Gene Pitney.
I've never heard that name. I don't know that name.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Pitney?
The singer, early rock and roll.
No, what was the song?
You only hurt the ones you love. Something like that. I can't remember the word title, but it was one of his big hits. But, and that whole idea, you just see it all the time, and I've found it true in my life. The people that I've really hurt in my life have been people that have loved me. And you hate that, but that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And there's reasons for it, and some are good and some are bad, but it happens a lot. And part of, that's a logical thing. I'm not saying, because when you love someone the way we're talking, that type of love, you are giving yourself away. And then not to get back something in return it's not the right way to be treated, and you're going to feel hurt by it. So, you have to care about somebody before they can hurt you.
Right, it's so true. Yeah.
So that's another topic, really, than what I was observing. Of course, there's probably going to be more observations than that as soon as we can get Kyle out of his stupor.
Well, I was just thinking of you saying you have to love someone before he can hurt you. That goes back to very clearly what Jesus said: love your enemies. Why are they your enemies unless you, for some reason, care about them or have some interaction with them?
Interesting.
But that's a totally different usage of the word, I think, in that way. You used it two different ways there when you're saying love your enemies, and that's the whole issue is what does it mean when you say I love you? Like I don't believe that love should be possessive, but I guess when you're young it has to, because you're making a commitment to a family and everything. But I think ideally love shouldn't be a possessive thing. It should be a freeing thing. It should be a gift.
It's definitely one of those words that most cultures have so many words for all the different kinds of love.
Mm-hmm.
English isn't as clever as a lot of
Yeah,
those.
that's part of what I'm talking about.
Because there's agape and there's a romantic love. The love a mother has for a child is way different than the
Right.
love two lovers have for each other. Way different than the love God has for all of us. Maybe that's more like a mother and child. But also all way different than what Jesus was talking about, how we should regard our enemies. Love is, like Dylan said, a 4-letter word. Just so many versions. But I guess there's, at the same time, that we use the same word for all of them suggests that there is a through line, something about it that connects all of them to one word, which feels obvious, but I'm not sure I'd be able to say it out loud.
Well, I think, when you love someone, what you're saying is that they are a part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when you say it in a nice way,
And you want
mean
good things.
it's a positive part of your life, and you are glad that they're in your life. And that's the way you would like to think.
And that works on all the things I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he meant by love your enemy. Just
Yeah.
care about them.
Right.
Empathize with where they're coming from. Feel connected to them. Want what's best for them.
Yeah.
Same as a mother feels for a child, two lovers for each other. Those are all very similar.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're clearing this up because I always thought it was make love to your enemies. So.
Which explains a lot, right?
What's that guy doing over here? Now,
He's back.
I've never really thought about this before, but all right, let's say you have a very well-founded belief in God. You would have to believe in love too, in my mind, because basically what you were saying, the concept of God, or the God you should love and care for everyone. But what do you think about people that understand love but they have no concept of God at all? Is that missing, or does love create like some sort of magic that's maybe not if you don't believe in it?
Atheists can love.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So do you think God automatically connects to love, but love doesn't?
No, there are vengeful, terrible gods. Read your mythology.
Mm-hmm.
There's some bad gods out
No,
there.
but I mean the God. You're not talking about mythological gods now, are you?
Well, I'm talking about everybody making up their own gods, and back then they made some cool ones up and write books about them. But you're making up gods too. I mean, it's just you haven't published yet. Well, yeah.
Hinduism has gods for everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's different concepts of God in different cultures.
About the Christian God. All right, I'm confused.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I guess there's no Christian God. It's just all the religions are ways to try to tap into that source.
I mean,
But a kind, loving. Let's take out wars of God of war, and all that stuff. If we're talking about a loving, caring God, shouldn't you automatically have loving feelings?
I mean, if you're talking about even if you want to limit it to the Christian God, including the Old Testament, there's so many stories of him not acting like that.
Well, we're not talking about how God acts. It's not just Christian. Any faith that has a belief in a higher power that's good, shouldn't that make us want to love other people and be kind to other people?
To be on the God's good side?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So now I'm wondering, can you truly love and not have some belief in some higher power, even if you don't name it? I mean, I don't have a firm belief in God, but when I'm in love with somebody, I do. There's some power somewhere that I can't understand that I want to, please let everybody, I'm doing as best as I can type thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even outside of romantic love, I feel like so much of my childhood and my life has been shaped by this idea, almost the Christian revolutionary love, which all the music and my heroes that came from your generation were extolling the virtues of and writing songs about the flower power, the hippies. They're trying to stop war, make love, not war, putting flowers in guns. Just the whole notion from racial divides to wars. It's like, can't we just love? Why can't love be the answer? And like that was a very foundational principle in my whole life. This idea that this love was a way bigger conversation than just like, does Penny like me? You know, like maybe I could give her this deer full of perfume and invite her to Skate Town. And that's, I mean, love was it was an actual memory. I wasn't riffing there.
Penny, I'm here to make love to your enemies.
But yeah, love.
But don't you see that? Don't you sort of visualize that concept of like like you said, the flowers and the gun barrels and the races getting along? Don't you see that as sort of like a higher calling, almost like a godlike?
Mm-hmm.
So then, what is it to those people that love to be evil?
It's a different God. That's all I'm saying.
Is it the same love?
Well, they not know. It's not the same love. They're not feeling that way, or
Could
they don't.
be feeling the same thing as our love for the good stuff is their love for evil.
So you're saying if one person loves love and another person loves hate, is that love the same? That loves hate.
It's a strong emotion. It's not anything
Just feeling
like
connected
being the
to
same.
it, wanting it to thrive.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I think that's two different things, but coming out of the same source. It's it's coming out of the same needs to explain the world to yourself. We're back to that predicting. That's all our brains are doing all the time, and we're using the data. So like you just have a thought. You just don't. I just don't. None of us do. Like my sister visited me last week. She's a little older than me, and she's wiser in many ways. And she came into my kitchen and walked out with crushed ice. She fixed my ice machine.
Oh, wow.
And it was just remarkable. I just gave her so much credit. It was just a beautiful thing. And later on, I realized that what she really did was she used my ice machine. That for 5 years, I had tried it 5 years ago and it didn't work, and I never pushed the button again. And people would come in and I'd say, the ice machine doesn't work. But I hadn't gotten to tell her yet, and she did it. So, that's my example of where we go is we learn something real early, and then we just live that and don't think about it anymore.
Right.
And
don't test the hypothesis again.
Don't ever study it or do something. I'm discovering stuff around the house all the time that I put somewhere and forgot about it or thought it wasn't important then, but now it's important. And it's just we live our life that way, and we think that way too. Mm-hmm. About and our concept of God changes, but. Like the church, people are having trouble out there right now with the church God, and it comes back to I always remember, when I was 9 years old, I asked my Sunday school teacher, I said, real nice gentleman, and I asked him, I said, now, he read a passage from the Bible and said, only through me may you know God, and I said, may you enter the gates of heaven. And I said, does that mean that if you're a little child on a Pacific island and you're 5 years old and you've never done anything wrong and you die, that you're going to go to hell? Mm-hmm. And he didn't know how to answer. I put him on the spot, but he finally said, I guess so. He didn't try, but that didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
And it didn't make any sense to any little 9-year-old that asked that question. It just doesn't. So you've got to figure out some way to make that make sense. And that's one way we've created our God, and one reason we have holes in our concept of God, because we're going on stuff we learned when we were little.
Right.
That may or may not be true now. I'm not saying it's all wrong. I'm just saying you need to relook at things. You need to push that button more often.
Which button?
The one to the
Oh,
ice
the
machine.
ice machine. Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Rethink.
So yeah, rethink it. It's painful, but you can do it.
Well, it's sort of like the concept of God doesn't need any salespeople, really. Like all that stuff you have to believe in and to get to heaven, you have to do that. That's just somebody pushing something on you.
You might come to believe that.
I'm not convinced.
But it's a easy, convenient way to get the flock together and keep everybody in line a little bit.
Well, it's a way to give meaning to life. It's a very important concept. Why are people doing stuff? You know, because they want to go to heaven, so they're going to behave now. That's a real issue for everybody. You have to come to grips with it. Which goes back to another hour we could spend on, you know, what you'd love to have, being able to read an actual person's mind and turn it into a cartoon and be able to just come in and click on something and click on people's concept of heaven and hell. You know, what do you learn? What do you learn when you think of heaven? You have a cartoon of these devils and fire and brimstone, and, you know, these with their pitchforks poking people. And then heaven, you think, well, everybody's got a different concept of heaven. Yep. Mine involves Eva Longoria.
I remember watching.
I'm through for a while.
His concept of heaven is Eva Longoria and me playing the kazoo.
Oh my God! He just inserted himself
Oh,
playing
Lord.
kazoo into your heaven.
Into my
Yeah, that is just weird.
Well, if I start associating those two, we're in a lot of trouble. We'll be off the air in no time.
Welcome, Mr. Moore. You're now in heaven.
Eva's going to be like,
That old man asking for dollars up here. It'll only cost you $1 to get. Come on.
All right, I pass.
It's definitely. I remember watching some like old Western movie about like the formation of a new little town, and like one of the first things they did, you know, you built the general store or whatever, some kind of trading post, but then the church. And I was watching and I was like, there's something just so beautiful that once a week everybody there is going to get together and contemplate this higher power, this higher purpose to their existence. And then from that is going to be all these community connections. There's some movie we were watching last night and somebody had died and they all gathered, and there's just, you know, if someone dies and you're in the church, the pomp and circumstance, the beauty of the building, it's all elevated, sort of thinking on that more spiritual plane of like your love for somebody or how unique of an individual they were. Like, it's hard to imagine a place that could fulfill those roles in a small community better than some kind of shrine or place of worship, whatever you want to call it. It's a place where the whole community gathers to be their spirit or to celebrate the higher notions of our existence.
Yeah, and the thing I'd say, if you look around this little town, this little southern town, or if you go to Churchville, and that's, if you go through Churchville, what you'll see is there's 4 houses and 7 churches. And as you drive around here, there's a church on every corner. Why so many?
Yeah, that's
Goes back to what I'm saying. We're all.
It does.
Yeah,
it really does. 4 houses and 7 churches. That's true. I feel like when I was young, I heard that there was some stat about Stanton and Augusta County that's legitimately unique in the country in terms of that proportion, that we have more churches per people than almost anywhere in the world.
Could be.
I think it still stands up.
It might be. It might.
I bet it does. I mean, you just drive around.
Churches per capita.
Yeah.
How 40 that the churches are.
Not as full as they used to be, I know that much. But it is interesting that one community would, because that sort of goes against what I was just saying, that it's a place that unites the community, that brings the community together under a celebration of a higher state of existence or spirit or whatever. But to have 4 houses and 7 churches is sort of doing the opposite. It's almost increasing it's not uniting the community into one, but breaking it up into smaller tribes, which is...
Because the family's got to break up so they can have somebody at each church.
Right.
No, see, that's the good, beautiful concept of religion. But I know people that hate religion because they're like, all you do is you go in there and people judging you, and the preacher's trying to make money off of you. That's become like a real cynical way of seeing it.
The opiate of the masses. It's all just about control. It's the source of all conflict and war. Like, yeah, definitely well steeped in all those critiques as well.
Right.
But you'll find any structured religion, any Protestant or Catholic or any other religion other than Christianity too, but they all will have high principles that have been supplanted by the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spaniards going around, what they did in South America and Central America and Southern United States, the way they turned them into slaves and didn't treat them as anything but chattel, and were there to be corrected and made to be the way they were. That was a religious thing, part of the religion of that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of their history, our history, where religion has been used over and over by different cultures in different ways, which goes back to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so it almost harkens back to the idea that the people you've hurt the most are the people you've loved the most, or the people that have hurt you the most are the people that you love. It's tricky stuff. Like, religion is such a powerful way to control people and manipulate people that it's like a hotbed or whatever for corrupt people.
Right.
With great power comes great responsibility, and it's as corrupt as it is divine.
Right.
Because there's no, you can't have one without the other. Almost, you're just vulnerable in that sense. So do we not love because that's the only way you're going to get hurt that much? Do we not worship because it's so rife with corruption? Do we sever these limbs to protect ourselves from the pain that can be caused by having them?
The answer to that leads you to where I am suggesting you needed to go, which is to understand that you are inventing, you are creating your concept of God that you're going to live with.
Mm-hmm.
And you are creating your concept of love. And you have to live by that once you figure it out, or once as you moderate. And like, my concept of God has changed a lot in the last few years or over my lifetime. So that's natural. That's what's going to happen. Be open to that.
Mm-hmm.
And, allow that to happen, but also to evolve. My ideas about love have changed completely a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually they both connect through a nice fine thread to another topic that we might discuss maybe next time.
What's that?
The telepathy tapes.
Mm.
Because I'm seeing a relationship between the three.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you started listening to that at all?
No, he was yelling at me today.
I did not yell at you. What is that? That's just a bald-faced lie. You make stuff up. Should not make stuff up when they're sitting next to you. That's called lying.
I didn't think you were listening to it.
Good point. That's a damn good point. But once every 5, I'll listen to it.
One time I answered the door by mistake, and it was some Seventh-day Adventist people, which I don't even know what Seventh-day Adventists believe in. But I was like, man, why'd I open this door? And they started talking to me. And they gave me this little, it looked like a little Bible, this little red book. Maybe it's like maybe 100 pages. And they said, we just want to give this to you. And I was like, they've already got me at the door or whatever. So I talked to them. Then I thought, what's it going to hurt to read this little book? It was one of the most beautifully it was a book about religions, different religions. And I thought the first chapter would
On
be...
different religions?
Yeah, the different religions of the world. And I thought the first chapter would be Seventh-day Adventists, this is all the good stuff, and then, everything else they would tear apart. They didn't tear apart a single religion. Well, and I don't know if the Seventh-day Adventists wrote it. It was a Seventh-day Adventist book. Every single religion in there sounded like a wonderful, beautiful thing. And I was thinking, man, these people are going around trying to get you into their religion, but they're giving you this book that's basically, if you read it, you couldn't find a bad thing about any religion out there. I thought that was so cool that they didn't try to scare you away from anybody.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was just, I read that, I was like, man, it's like not that I read a lot of religious books, but I did learn a lot of reading it. I did learn too, like, man, it doesn't really it's basically a lot of the concepts were the same, just different ways of looking at it. And I was like, man, that's the way it should be. Like, all right, you're whatever. We basically believe be kind, be nice, help people. And that book, that's basically what that book was. I was like, man, it's just like what a hard job to go out and try to sell something and be like, well, everything else is just as good as ours, It's a weird way of... But I was very impressed with them. So now I talk to them all the time. All the Seventh-day Adventists come by my house.
I just got a fresh pot of lemonade here for you.
You don't even need to knock. Just come on.
Did y'all have a
Well,
Hey,
well,
Seven!
and one time, this isn't a lie. He'll probably say it's a lie. But it isn't a lie. One time I opened the door again when I lived down the street from him. There was two religious ladies trying to sell me something. And he walks by, he always stops. Every single time he stops and comes up on the porch. He just looked at me and smiled and kept on walking. And then he came back later when they were gone and said, why didn't you come by and save me? He goes, looked like you were having fun talking to him. And I was like, you old dog, left me up there.
I didn't know what you were doing.
You could tell what was going on.
I thought you were falling in love.
Boy, everybody's got your house number, huh? You're like on a call list or something.
Well, the book was given to me when I lived in Richmond. And the funny thing is, you know how like people come to your door and you try to hold the door so they can't. Well, this doesn't happen, but like you don't want anybody in. So this woman, the two of them said, "Can we talk to you?" And I was inside, and they were pressed up against my door. And I said, "Well, can I come outside?" It was almost the exact opposite. We want to talk to you, but we want to make sure you stay inside the house. Like, let me out. I want to talk to you. No, you stay inside, wild man. We don't want you getting out here with us. Then here he comes by smiling at me like
just do. Never seen this man in my life.
I saw him crouch down behind some cars and look till you were gone, and he came back. They give you a book.
Was it red?
We never had those.
Haven't?
The door-to-door evangelists. Or
They
whatever.
come during the day.
No, I sleep right through it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I haven't seen them for a while. I think they do mark you off after a while.
Write you off.
Yeah.
Lost soul.
No, is it seventh? In Jersey, they had the most beautiful men you've ever seen. Like just models in like these fashionable suits on bikes riding around. I don't know what they were, but man, I was like, man, these guys are gonna have everybody open the door when they come knock. And they were like beautiful model-looking guys.
What are you doing right?
In like little skinny black suits and ties and the fresh haircuts. Like, man.
God has sent an angel on a bike to me.
Thank God it looked nice when I opened the door.
They're all over college campuses.
Oh, they are?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All the people on missions.
Do y'all have restrictions?
Apparently not.
Huh.
I don't know what the specifics are of that, but they are definitely a presence.
Wasn't there a known controversy recently about some religious group setting up just off campus and shouting at people about something? I thought that was like in the news or something.
Recently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the new president was at a outside function. I can't exactly remember what it was for now, but there was a group across the street. I'm not exactly sure what the protest was focused on though. At first I thought I'd heard that it was about the food aid in Gaza, or the and medical supplies being shut off from the people, being blocked, from the people for so long. And then I'd heard that it was something about how, this new president may or may not, or they're thinking he's going to be a certain way and, agree with this kind of stuff, I guess. But then I'd heard that the new president handled it very well, and, and it kind of extinguished itself, and he was real good and talked to all of them and reassured them of his
Showed leadership.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, look it up for the specifics. I'm not exactly sure what all of it was about to begin with.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure if you were to go through like a keyword search through my online lyric book, the 2 words that you chose for today's conversation are probably up there in the top 10 words I've used the most in songs I've written. God and love.
I think so. It's a good topic.
Mm-hmm. I know God is such a power, like when it comes to like writing songs and poetry and stuff like that, like I'm so glad I did not choose to live without that concept. Like I don't even know what would describe those feelings or aspirations or thoughts better than that, using a relationship with that concept, or a godless version of my repertoire is hard to imagine.
Right.
Of my output.
Right.
As hard to imagine as a loveless version.
Exactly. Well, in a sense, you could say that's what a lot of what you're doing is all about.
Tech support's on the porch right now, just flooding the wall with searches for those words from my catalog. Oh yeah, it's going to go, that list will go on for days.
I'll bet.
Is anybody writing anything about this conversation, or are they telling us to move on?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, every other song. Thought maybe it would be small enough to list them, but I feel like
I need to clear up something here. I've just noticed. Do you always polish your fingernails?
That was a Mother's Day gift.
a Mother's Day gift.
I took Stephanie. We went and got our fingernails and toenails done.
You did what now? You
So you getting your nails done was a Mother's Day
Well,
gift.
she got it
To
done
her?
too.
I was going to say your mom really loved that, huh? Like, look what I did for you, Mom.
No, not my mom, Stephanie.
No, I got you. So you got. Did you do your toes too?
Yeah.
Are they painted as well?
Yeah.
Same color, matching.
Yeah. And I think that Stephanie said since I was the only guy in there, I got pampered more than anybody else in
Oh,
there.
they fawned over you.
Yeah, it was quite an event. I wanted to go back the next day.
You could wear your hat going in; they wouldn't know you.
I paid. Well, I got nails and then like some kind of sand massage or something.
Sand?
They put stuff on your
I haven't heard
legs
of
and all
this.
this stuff. So we go in there and Stephanie's woman goes to hers real quick. Mine's just going and it's sort of creepy because I was like going, oh my God, that feels good. And Stephanie's like, stop making those faces, I'm like, oh man, that feels
Tell me
good.
more about the sand.
So they just put all this stuff. They had like lotion, and I guess it had sand in it. And they rub your legs,
Oh,
and then they brought out hot rocks, and they put your feet on hot rocks, and they put the hot rocks on your legs and stuff. It felt so good. But Stephanie's was done, and it had taken her over to do her fingernails, while mine was still doing it. I was just like, I did feel like, I got something like.
So she's all done with her Mother's Day gifts, and an hour and a half later, you come sleepily out of the front door. Like,
And so,
wasn't that something?
and so
Boy.
I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, this feels so good. And then I was like, man, stop saying that, because the woman was looking at me like. But so then when Stephanie's was done, the woman just said, all right, follow me over to this other table. So when my lady said to me, all right, we're going to the other table. And so I sat up. She goes, no, let me help you. So she helped me out of the chair and held my arm in my hand and walked me over to the other side. And it was just, I was like, man, what's going on here? I'm getting special treatment. So then we sat down, they did all this stuff. And so we were all done. Stephanie's lady just said, you can't put your shoes on, I just painted your nails. And she had to wear like these little slippers you give her. So my lady didn't say anything. So I went down to get my socks and my shoes. And she said, no, I'll put them on for you. The only person in there, it was like almost embarrassing. I just held my feet out and she put my socks on and then my shoes and tied them. And we left stuff. He's like, damn, what's like, you're the best mother in there. But the funniest thing is when she got her nails done, they have like a little pad, like a little raised thing. You just put your hands on it and they have like a little fan that blows them to control. My lady made me sit with my hands like this. So I looked like the Queen of England. I was just sitting there with my hands being blown dry. And I kept trying to move it because I knew I looked ridiculous. And she was like, no, stay like that. And I was just sitting there.
Man, I bet you were a part of a TV show you don't know about.
Oh, wow.
You just got
You're
punked.
so famous in China.
It was so relaxing. So, oh God.
4,300,000 views in 3 days.
What'd they do with the hot rocks?
Well, Stephanie's just rubbed it on her legs. My lady rubbed them all over my legs, then put them on the thing and put my feet on them, like put my feet over top of them and rubbed them. I don't know if my lady was. The funniest part was they put these towels down, and your feet are up on like a thing, and I noticed Stephanie's towel was like all dirty looking. I was like, damn, she's got some nasty feet. And so Stephanie saw it. She goes, is that my feet? Man, are they that dirty? And I was like, man. I said, I don't know. That's sort of gross. And we were talking about it, and you could see the woman that was doing her feet was sort of shaking. And they have a mask on. The woman put her mask down. It says, "It's not dirt. It's the lotion I put on your feet." It was brown, but it looked like dirty feet from her heel.
You didn't get the brown lotion?
Yeah, I did, but I guess mine rubbed it in. I don't know why I didn't, but I was like, we were both like, "Oh, that's gross. Dirty feet."
So I bet you walked out there and said, Stephanie, I know what you're getting for your birthday.
Well, the funny thing is they told her she couldn't wear her shoes, so she's just wearing these paper slippers. So she has to shuffle around.
For 2 weeks.
And so I said, we'll go to like a thrift store or something. We'll find you some shoes. So we go to Gift and Thrift. Does anybody know where that is in Harrisonburg?
No, it sounds good though.
Really cool like, book record store, thrift store. So we're walking over there, and I'm still prancing around, and she's shuffling like a prisoner, with her little paper slippers on.
He's prancing around and he's being fanned.
Right, they're still falling.
right.
And so,
I stay with you 24 hours.
and so we're walking into the thrift store. There's a big sign out front says, all shoes 50% off, like we had hit the jackpot.
Ah.
So she went in and found a pair of sandals for $2.50. So she just took the slippers off and threw them in the trash and put those on.
Did you find anything?
I found a bunch of records and CDs and books, yeah. She found a bunch of clothes. God, what's the guy's name? Paul Caruso, something like that, from Harrisonburg. You know who that is?
A musician?
Mm-hmm.
From Charlottesville?
From Harrisonburg.
Carreri?
I think it's Curreras. Carreras.
So close to Carreri.
Don't know
that
him.
he's out of.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's funny because his album covers just looked cool, and he had like a cool look. So I bought 2 of his CDs for $2. And I really liked them. Then when I got home, I noticed I have another of his CDs that I think I bought just because it looked cool. So
I don't know this guy.
whoever's doing his artwork, I don't know if it's him or not, but he's selling a lot of CDs just by the way they look.
And it's good?
Oh yeah, really good.
And it's Harrisonburg for sure?
Like a sort of like a singer-songwriter guy.
It's funny because I do have a friend, Paul Carreri, but he's over in Charlottesville, but also an amazing songwriter.
Well, maybe it is the same. Maybe it's just Harrisonburg's. How do you spell his last name?
It's like Cuerri or something, Carreri.
Does he have a beard? Like sort of good-looking guy with a beard? Maybe it is the same.
Skinny.
Yeah.
I'll Google him.
Yeah, so we had a really good time that day. Harrisonburg has like a Mexican restaurant. You can sit up on the roof. We went out there and had margaritas. That is him, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
He's great. He used to play Stanton from time to time. But he doesn't really play. He had something weird happening with his hands and with his voice and stopped playing so much.
Oh, wow.
Years ago.
Yeah, the CDs, they weren't brand new. They were used. Wow, that's crazy. Just like you, what else did you know? You knew that guy that opened up. What was that show I went to that you knew the guy that opened up for? You had played at his birthday, or you'd been to his birthday party or something? You and Kether had gone.
Who's that?
Oh, one of those shows I went to. Who was it? Ray? Oh, I forget. Some guy lives out west that you had been to his house or something.
I don't remember who that was.
Any of y'all know anything about Chris Stapleton?
Wait, is he the guy with the Tennessee whiskey or whatever?
Yeah. What, is that terrible or what?
No, he's good.
Yeah, man.
You going to see him?
Got pipes.
My boss, that's the next show she bought us all tickets for.
Oh, your boss is doing that? Gosh, you guys are really living
Front
it
row
up.
again? Weren't
She
you
got,
guys like
yeah,
front before?
she's got us good seats right down there, yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Like, I think it's like 8 or 9 of us going. Living the good life. I have to go back and get my nails done for that.
Are you going to wear that hat?
What color are you doing?
You can borrow that hat if you need it.
I
mean,
think
I'll
you
tell you
should.
what,
I
it's a
think
whole
I-
new person to be for you.
I think it's a whole new view.
It's a whole new you.
What color are you going for the Stapleton
For the show, gosh. Man, I guess like a
course.
like a whiskey brown or something.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it goes with your nails. It'll be fine.
It does. It matches your nails perfectly.
You look
Oh, what
great.
That's
color
why I
is the
chose
hat?
that hat.
Oh, I didn't even know it was this color. Got the little feather.
The only
on it.
problem is your hair looked so good before I put that hat on. I felt bad. I mean, it was your
I do
do
like
was
this.
done.
Did I have this on when Kether came
You
in?
done did your do real nice
should've
before I
done
put that
that.
hat on it.
Did you ever wear a hat? You were too young for that. That was out of style.
I wore baseball hats.
Definitely a baseball hat. Is that all?
Well, I've had other hats. I like toboggans in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, toboggans. That's what we around here call a knit cap, which is it's funny because that's also the name of a sled, but still winter activities. Like I don't think toboggan means anything outside of winter, but within winter activities, it means all kinds of things. A thing you ride down a mountain, a thing you wear on your head. I mean, how could that happen? How could a toboggan mean both of those things?
It's the same as the concepts of God and love. You gotta get in someone else's mind and see what they're visualizing.
Everybody's idea of a toboggan slightly different.
Well, I think I've told this story.
Exactly.
I think I've told this story before. We had a toboggan when I was a kid. We used to
Well,
go to-
what do you mean?
Like a hat you all
You had
Well,
a hat,
I
y'all?
gotta tell the story. We had a toboggan when I was a kid, and we would ride it at the SMA hill.
How do you ride a hat?
And it got stolen. So we went across the street to my grandparents' house and called the police. And the police came, and my dad was like, it's like 6-7 feet long. And the guy was looking at him like, what? He's like, we were on it going down the hill. And the policeman thought we were talking about a hat. And my dad's describing this 6-foot long thing that we had ridden down the hill. And my dad's saying like, what don't you understand? You know, it's like, it had a big pad on it. And the guy was looking at him like, what? And the cop finally said, what are you talking about?
That's funny. I love it.
So it was like,
Yeah, we got a guy here talking about riding a hat down the mountain.
he's very upset.
Stolen,
Him and his wife and 2 young kids were riding a hat down. Somebody stole it. Somebody stole his damn hat, and he's calling the police about it.
Who wouldn't want a hat like that?
got a big thick pad on it.
Isn't that funny? That's exactly what we're talking about.
You drinking a sports drink?
He took my dad. He took my dad to jail for drunken disorder. For some reason, I'm obsessed with the grape flavor now. This is a grape flavor.
Grape ape. What is that? Is it an energy drink or just like a?
I don't know. It's giving me energy though. It's a zero. It's a Powerade.
Oh, it's electrolytes for when you're for the sweating, all the sweating.
All that.
For all the exertion and
all that.
sweating. It replenishes all the things you lose from all the sweating.
Yeah, he used a lot trying to park a car.
And I could not. Well, I'm the worst parker, but today I had like 3 spaces long, and I could not get in that.
Well, yeah.
I could hit
Well, what you need is one of those backup cameras.
I do.
Those things, boy, I don't even know how I'll ever live without them again if I ever have to live without it. Because that's how you do it.
Well, I was telling him when we were trying to park, I told him, I said, because it was, Kitty, what is it? Kitty Fox, what is it? And I said, man, a couple of days ago, I was telling you when you pulled up in that car and you stopped, and it took me for a while to even recognize you because I didn't recognize the car. And I knew your face. I was like, who is that in that car?
I want to write a song called this, but apparently, Kether has taught me in psychological parlance, the phenomenon is called the butcher on the bus, which I think is going to be a great song someday. The seed is planted. It's just getting watered and sun on it now. But the butcher on the bus phenomenon is that you don't recognize your butcher on the bus. You see somebody outside of the context of the way you know them, and it's really hard to recognize them. Magpie shared a picture on the porch, like, look who I found in Arcata today. I knew who it was, but my brain couldn't accept that was Chop Slot. It was Mike Bullock, a mutual friend of all of ours. But I just couldn't. I was like, well, he doesn't live in Arcata. Like, that doesn't make him. He's Utah. That doesn't track at all. So I just couldn't even see him. But the butcher on the bus, how you just.
Yeah, I like
the
it,
brain
yeah.
can't
It's very-
process
very
seeing
true.
somebody outside of the
right.
context that you know them in.
Because you pulled up real slow and you said something. I looked down. I'm like, God, I know who that is, but
It was a butcher on the bus.
It's butcher on the bus. Yeah.
All right, here's something, just for a second.
Oh, are you selling this?
I don't know what I'm doing with it, but
The lines are open, folks.
I want to talk about. I had a friend. I like to go on an adventure every once in a while. I like to risk it, to put it out there on the line.
On the line, yeah.
And,
every Thursday night.
Well, I do. Thursday night, it's out there. It's out there, but I do that one more time a week, and the rest of the week I just stay home and read. Yeah, but this time we chose. She had to go to Lowe's, and I had no idea. I said, "I'll go with you. Let's do it." And I got in Lowe's, and it was a magnificent place.
Yeah, it's really a great
It
place.
just was everything, and they have all these little things. While you're looking for that lawnmower, take this, and you just grab it. You just go around with a bag, and you can take all you want, and you give them a little piece of plastic, and they let you
I
leave.
love all that stuff, too.
Well, I did have one problem with Lowe's, and I'm just here to tell you, they're good people. I'm not putting them down as a whole, but I would say don't buy your shirts there at Lowe's.
Why is that?
Well, I
Those
bought
are Carhartts. That's good stuff.
I bought a nice shirt the other day, but look at it. I got home and I have a problem.
We'll let you unveil it. Because you stole it. It looks like you still got the security tag.
Oh, it
on
does still.
How'd you steal it?
You stole this.
No, I did not steal it.
I feel like I shouldn't put my fingerprints on it.
Well, I'm telling you that I didn't steal it. The woman checked it off and didn't take the thing off.
Oh, man, and you can't do it because that's the point of the thing.
I was going to cut it off, and then I realized it's strategically located.
I'm afraid to push this button because...
Oh, I've pushed it.
Oh, you have? Because
yeah.
it seems like how you get it off, but it also seems like how you notify the authorities.
ICE stopped by, but they let me go.
That's a nice shirt, though. Is that
Yeah, I got one just like it.
Well, I got it because of the pockets. I told her I was
Yeah.
looking. I'm looking for 2 pockets, and it was a black shirt to cover up the food that I'd spill on it. And well, I was so happy, but no, you're not going to get it all.
Just take it back. They'll take it off.
So-
for you.
Take it off.
But it seems like it is a pretty interesting technology because there's no way that steel rod goes all the way through the
It's
shirt.
got I think it has some type of needle or something that goes all the way through. That if you,
But
if they-
wouldn't that put a hole in the thing you're buying?
well, it's just a thin needle. But I don't know. But it won't open.
Well, we go out there pretty often. Do you want us to
Well,
try
that's
to
what I'm
remedy
saying.
this?
I want you to take it back for me,
All right.
and you can either.
I'd be curious just to see the tool they use to remove
You know,
that. It's
they
gonna
might
be
accuse you
interesting.
of stealing it, and if they do, just give them my number.
Yeah, do you have a receipt or anything?
I didn't bring it, but I
That'd
might
be a pretty bold move to steal something and come back complaining that you can't get the thing off.
Exactly. But what I'll say to you is, if they give you that line, just say, well, you can have it, because I don't,
'Cause I don't want to go to jail. Take it back.
I'm just saying it's not worth it. It only cost. I bet it didn't cost $5.
He's got a trustworthy.
It was on sale, but the problem is they shouldn't do that.
It's a good shirt though. I hope you get this back.
If I have one suggestion of how to get it off, I'd put it in the ice crusher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I was going to try to cut it off, and they haven't figured out to
I
where.
had something like that one time, and I had to take it back.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you know, some of them have an ink in them that when you try to take it off and you crack that plastic housing, there's like a liquid ink in it that
Oh, wow.
stains the product
Yeah.
And you.
and you. But
Yeah.
And it never comes off, and the rest
Yeah.
of your life you're
clothes,
known.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the real story of how my fingernails got dyed.
Yeah, that was a pretty elaborate lie you told about how you got pampered.
I just thought it
and-
up right off the top of my head. What can I tell them? They'll believe anything I say.
Yeah, I didn't have much luck with the stuff I bought. I had some really good things, but another thing I got that I'll report to you guys that I have to be aware of is that I'm a bird feeder, and I got 3 of those suet packs.
Oh yeah.
And I thought I could get a downy woodpecker there, and I have the thing to put it in. And I put it in there yesterday, and I came back today, and it ruined the entire vibe of the area.
Because they're all killing each other over it.
Well, it was discovered by starlings,
Oh yeah.
and they're just not a good bird. And they don't come to my feeder because I have sunflower seeds, so they don't bother that because it's too much work for them.
Mm-hmm.
But they got on that suet, and then they all started coming in. And
It's
then
just
a
like
gang,
an open can of peanut butter. Or
yeah, a
something.
gang of teenagers
Yeah.
came in. There's about 7 of them, and they were ruffians, and they just tore up the place. And I had to go out and run them off, of course, but then I had to bring the thing in. They wouldn't leave it alone. So, and then the other thing that happened is the chipmunk has figured out how to get into my porch. So he's
Oh no.
So I brought the bird feeder in because something was eating there with that, and he got in there last night. So.
That's not good.
No, because I love my chipmunk, but I will have to keep him out of my porch.
Right.
So
We
he's-
got to find out how he's getting in.
Oh, I know how he's getting in.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, there's a hole there.
So we just go out to Lowe's. Get
I
something
need to get
fix that
somebody to
hole.
help me fix that hole. Yeah.
Screen tape.
Is it low?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do something, jerry rig it, but it's just the screen has been broken by dogs and people and chipmunks over there.
Oh, we can fix that. Patch the screen.
No, it wouldn't take much to do it. It's easily fixable. But until then, my porch is not a safe place for sunflower seeds.
And while we're doing that, what kind of dog was Old Yellow? Old Yellow.
Lab or something? I'm not
Is that-
sure.
What were we trying to decide?
I said Newfoundland, but I knew it was wrong. But lab, I think it is
Labrador.
a regular,
Like a yellow lab.
a yellow lab.
So what were we saying?
I said Newfoundland,
Oh, then we
but I
went-
knew we knew
I
that
don't
was
even know what a
wrong.
Newfoundland
We went to
is.
something else.
It's a big dog like that, but I knew it.
What's the long-haired dog that's red? That's what we were calling it.
Irish setter.
Yeah,
collie?
that's what we
I think
called
I
it.
called it that.
Yeah, Labrador. Okay.
What was
Yeah.
Lassie?
Collie.
Collie.
Lassie was a genius.
Yeah.
I worshipped Lassie. When I was
Did you watch
I
Lassie?
love
yeah,
Lassie.
I thought I loved Lassie, and I treated Lassie like a god.
Well, that was good. She helped people. How many Lassies were there? Wasn't there like 7 different
Oh, I think
dogs
there
or
were.
something?
Yeah, there was a lot of Lassies.
A lot of Wells.
They were a pretty dog. Now there was only one Timmy. No, there were 2 Timmys, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a show. Cause I always think of
Oh,
the
my
movies,
goodness,
but it
yes.
was like an actual
Oh, Lassie was
once a week or something.
always had to watch Lassie. I think it came on Sunday with Wild Kingdom and or something. It was a family night.
Wonder why that they don't do that anymore.
I don't know.
It seems like there was always a dog. We always had it's like world famous magicians. There was always only one, but there was always one. You never had 2 famous magicians in the same decade. But you know, we had Lassie, we had Benji, we had Rin Tin Tin. We always had a beloved dog. Of course, it got weird there with Cujo for a couple of years, but then
Cujo made
then we
a
got
lot.
Beethoven in there. But I don't know if we've had a collective beloved dog. And
Turner and Hooch.
well, that was a movie. The idea of a collective beloved dog.
What was the
feels
big
like
red dog? Bedford or what was that?
Clifford.
Clifford.
Yeah, Clifford. Was that a cartoon? Cartoon.
We tried different animals too.
Mm-hmm. We had Mr. Ed.
Did you ever watch Mr. Ed?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I always watched
Was
it.
that funny back then or was it stupid?
It was hilarious.
And Flipper was a dog.
Oh,
Flipper.
Flipper.
So,
Yeah, what have happened to our shows that we don't even try stuff like that
Great Bait.
anymore?
yeah, there's no real animal show right now.
Not a single animal show.
Animal characters, am I right?
Well, because we're not the age group to be watching those, are we?
Those are
No, Bait
family.
too,
It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
adults were simpler back then.
adults were simpler back then.
You couldn't just go into your study and watch porn by yourself while the kids are watching the animal shows.
Adults were simpler back then. I like this concept.
Well, because you had 4 TV channels. What were you going to do?
Granddad was always so funny, like that Knight Rider. Like, can you believe that car? Like, just loved it. Just couldn't wait. Like, oh man, can you just believe it talks? You're like that car is amazing. That is.
What's exciting about that show is they would reveal you get something new about the car like every episode there for a while.
Mhm.
Whoa, it can do
Oh,
that
it can do that,
too?
right.
You know?
And I'm sure when Dad was growing up, Granddad was like, "Can you believe that horse is talking? That is amazing right there. That's a talking horse." And he's just consistent all through the years. Can you believe that? It's an island they go to. All their wishes come true.
Now, what was the concept? What did the humans do?
With Mr. Ed,
Yeah, were they vets or something, or what was the? I remember what he looked like. Did he have a job?
Mr. Ed,
yeah. What was the backstory
No, Mr.
there?
Ed
What
was
was the
the horse,
setup for
wasn't
that series?
he was a pet horse.
No, we know what the horse was. What did the humans? Did they have jobs or anything?
Yeah, Wilbur just, I don't know what he did.
Wilbur.
He had a job.
Wilbur's
was
Green
there
Acres.
any
I don't know if it
explanation?
was Wilbur or
Was it
not.
the
Wilbur's
only
Green
talking horse
Acres.
in the world? Was Mr. Ed the only talking horse in the world?
Yeah,
Was he famous? Did everybody know
he
that?
only talked to that one guy.
Oh, he only talked to one guy.
But did the
No, he
guy have a
wasn't-
job?
Yeah, he would talk to that one guy.
So did the series ever make you question the guy's sanity? Was it framed that way? Like,
No, you thought he was pretty much of an idiot the whole time, pretty consistently. But I believed him. I think he was talking to that horse. Well, the horse was funny. You know, the best lines, the funniest lines were from the horse. And he had a great accent. I loved his, the way he talked was, you don't hear horses talk, but you don't expect them to be that funny when they do. He had a really funny voice.
uh-huh.
What What was the story on the human? Was he married or?
He was married. I think he had a little
But
child.
the wife couldn't hear the horse talk. Nor the
Well, the
child.
horse didn't talk around anybody but Wilbur.
Did he try to convince the
I
world
thought
that
Wilbur was the pig on Green Acres.
Well, there's a lot more
a lot of
Wilburs in the
Wilburs
world.
this world? I think
There's a
Charlotte's
lot of
Web
Wil-
had a
There's not
Wilbur.
just one Wilbur in the world.
Yeah.
No, Wilbur is Stephanie's dog. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, see,
There you go.
there's more than one Wilbur in the world.
You don't recognize a butcher on the bus.
Right,
He's got
it's
Wilbur
all gonna
with
come
it.
together.
No, how about I can see you being a big fan of Bewitched when that was around.
Not really.
What?
I think I was older and I didn't fall for it too much.
Didn't fall for it.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Well, I liked her. I liked her outfits, but I didn't like the program in terms of how funny it was or how entertaining it was. It was something to watch. But now, Mr. Ed was funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Groucho Marx was funny, but those were just shows you watched, but they weren't. They were situation comedies, and they weren't that good.
Right.
You didn't get that incisive humor like you got in MASH or something like that.
What even are like the big sitcoms right now?
I don't watch enough of that daytime, that regular shows. There
Nobody in here knows,
There's
right?
one called Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Ghosts, and
Oh, I
it's
have heard
like
of
on
that.
NBC or something. And my mother and father-in-law love it,
Nice.
and it's a weekly sitcom. That's one I know of.
Hmm. That's cool.
There's
New sponsor too.
Thank you, Ghost.
Is King of Queens still on?
Oh my goodness. What decade are we?
Arthur, I loved Arthur on that show.
who is the actor? I can't think of the actor, but he has several. He's had several spin-offs. He's not real old, but he looks young. He always plays a virile, macho guy that's really kind of nice underneath.
No idea.
Ted Danson?
No,
Comedy?
sell it.
That was
Yeah.
a good guess, though.
that was a good guess.
He's had a really long career.
Yeah,
He's still doing great shows.
he's a
Good
great.
place.
He's a good
Now,
actor.
do any of y'all have any Norm memories?
Oh yeah,
Rest in peace.
I love.
I love the
Norm.
meme I saw where he shows up at the gates of heaven and everybody up there is like, Norm!
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
It's really sweet.
that's great.
I definitely love that show.
That was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
It holds up over time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of those
Woody
characters that
Harrelson.
stayed
Yeah,
with
young
yeah.
Woody Harrelson.
That was funny.
What's that?
So many of those characters have just stayed, like Frasier, like
Yeah.
so many of them have just gone on and continued.
I love Frasier. That's a good sitcom.
I thought I heard that they're bringing some form of it.
Yeah,
I think they
are.
already did.
Oh, did they?
No,
Okay.
I think there is
Like on
a new one
Netflix
coming
or
out. Oh,
something.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was something like that. It already happened, huh?
I feel like, but they might be doing it again. He tried other shows, but that character was just so indelible that he had to just be Frasier. Just keep being Frasier. It's so fascinating.
But real quick, did any of y'all? I think it was on cable, so I didn't see it. The one with Steve Martin and all them was like the murder or something at a.
Oh yeah, only
apartment.
murders in the building.
Was that funny?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Martin Short,
Yeah, yeah.
Steve Martin.
And what was that on?
I think it's on Hulu or something. Definitely fun.
Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah, she was the third. Yeah. Fun show. We did it again. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We did it again. We have to start with an arriving song and end with a leaving song.
No drums for the leaving song tonight.
Tick tock goes me lately. I don't want time to hate me. I just want it to slow, but it won't. I don't know. I am not my body. It's the worst part of me. I just pray when its day comes. I still got a ways to go. Oh, my God, who am I talking to? Oh, my God, if not you. Oh, my God. All my life I've been posing questions to the quiet and wondering how it might answer them. And following all of the signs, I've seen the trees and the angels in. I've bled the gaping wound of sin. Forsook the wide, I took the narrow. Now by my faith I beg and borrow. Oh, my God, who am I talking to? Oh, my God, if not you. Oh, my God. You ready? On that hallelujah day, I'll be coming home to stay, ready my bed, warm my meal. I'm sure I'll be starving and cold. But while I have these eyes, this tongue, if the old are only wise when young, then let my love be sweat and true, and all I do be pleasing to you. Oh, my God, who am I talking to? Oh, my God, if not you. Oh, my God. Much love. See you next time.
Do good, everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Love you.
Do good.
Get out there and Jawn.
It is definitely, I've been thinking about that lately, about the loving your enemy thing, because it definitely seems like there's a lot of people now that are from a different school of thought of that you have to despise, you have to hate your enemies. I mean, it seems like it's, to them it's important that you hate them. They get upset that there's not more hate for the people they consider the evil people of the world, whether it's